second week for adult education system. So today we will review study second week by course syllabus. The theory and models of adult learning. So last week we reviewed understanding and overview and introduce what is adult learning theory. So today continued class theory and the models of adult learning. So there are many definitions for adult learning. So as you see in the screen, adult education, or sometimes we say adult learning. We are confusing using the adult learning or adult education. So as we know, this education or learning. So what is the adult learning? It means what is the adult learning? The pedagogy. Pedagogy is children education. So children's learning process, we say the pedagogy. Last week we said, and versus the andragogy. Andragogy is adult learning process. So see the pictures is very clear to understand your adult learning. So pedagogy is especially for children's learning process. It means so one side, teachers give some knowledge, skill, and information to the students. This is pedagogy. The other hand, andragogy is on the adult learning process. This is for communicate between the teachers and students. So every single adults have lots of information and knowledge for their experience. Or each student is very different background and education level and the experiences. Every single people is different. So the teachers share their knowledge or skills, any experience with them. This is basic difference between pedagogy and andragogy. This is for different. So what is the adult learning? Depends on this pedagogies. So adult learning is when the people over 25 learn new things. This is some special definition, 25 new things, such as skills, information, or concept. So 25 means it's not cured that. So some people is 20, 25, 30, because it is our age is we have graduate university level around 25, and then work 20 to 25. Some people is over 30, but something so at least 25 experience for their working. It means estimate they are about 50 years old. So 25 plus 25 experience, and then we can say to adults. That's normal, meaningful. So the people accumulate a lot of skills and knowledges and information or concepts. It's different from the way children learn, because adults bring their life experience to their learning process. as I said, it's different for children learning and adults learning. So that's why I showed the first step is what is the difference between adult learning versus children learning. So children's education focuses on the basic skill because they're very young, and the critical thinking. Some schools makes the syllabus or curriculums is developed for critical thinking and how do we give the logistics. This is children's learning basic foundation. However, adults learning differently because have more life experience. So also know what they want to learn. So they knows it. But the children knows they don't know it. So we are given the syllabus or curriculum and follow that. But the adults learning is what they want to know. Also, this choose a study based on their interest. Okay, after retired, then I want to interest very different things. Also needs and the learning style. It is who chooses it. The adults can choose their style or learning style and interest and concern about it and needs. It's very different. So it is a basic difference for children and adult learning characteristics. So you see the table. I briefly review that the differences between children and the adult learning styles. So children rely on others to decide what is important to be learned. But on the other hand, adults decide for themselves what is important to be learned. It means is adults have to retire or after stop their work, and then what is their concern, skills, learning style, and what they want, needs, something interesting. But children cannot decide that because it's what is important to be learned. It means it's already many years, for many years, and many researches fix the curriculum for education systems. Also, children accept the information being presented at face value because it's face to face. But on the other hand, adults need to validate the information based on their beliefs and values. It means they already knows it. They already have interest. They already have some different idea. That's why the information based on their beliefs and values, other expressions, their competence or knowledge base. Also, they expect what they are learning to be useful in their long-term future. It is for children has to know their long-term futures because it's a basic concept, basic knowledge. But on the other hand, adults expect what they are learning to be immediately useful. Immediately means they have to start the working, and then what is concerned about the interest, need right now. But children's need for futures because they want to major, they want to get a job in which what kind of major or something. Also, children have little or no experience upon which draw blank slates. But adults have substantial experience upon which to draw. It may have fixed viewpoint. It means all education is different for views between children and adults. Basically, adults can decide for their learning. The last difference is children reader ability to serve as a knowledgeable resources to teach our fellow classmates, because they give them one side from the teacher, and then they fellow classmates and teachers give some each other to knowledgeable resources. But adults is, as I said, they are some each communicated. So significant ability to serve as a knowledgeable resources, the trainer and the fellow learners. So children's learners, as we said, normally teacher or professor, something like that. But the adult learning or education, they say to a trainer or a runner or something like that. A little bit different meaning for that. So this is for differences between children and adult learning style. So the pedagogy and andragogy is very basic concept for children or adults. So what is the adult learning? I said it's have to retire that, and then we give to each other for information need, immediate interesting learning style or something like that. And what are adult learning theories? What are adult learning theories? 7. Adult learning theory. So adult learning theory are science baked framework to explain how adults learn. In contrast to how children learn, it's basically different, as we said, we live with that. The theory helps educators create more effective training strategy, because the students or adults already knows everything. They have already many different experience and accumulated knowledge. That's why. While there are several adult learning theories today, such as andragogy, and transformational learning or experimental learning, we will review some models after that. So they all aim to help educators better understood how to facilitate adult learning processes and design a company training program. We have a lot of training system from the government to the companies. So how to achieve better outcomes. This is pointing. We say here. Okay, Malcolm Knowles is popularized the concept of adult learning theory in education and andragogy in 1980s. So we say he is a father of adult learning. He's working in Harvard University and also director of YMCA, you know the YMCA. This is all over the world famous for special education system. Also, astronomy class, the modern practice of adult learning, adult education andragogy versus pedagogy. Also, he published lots of the 230 articles and 18 books. So we say he is the father of the adult learning. Also, the Malcolm, Shepard, Knowles, was an American educators well known for the use of the term andragogy as synonymous to the adult education. So andragogy is same meaning to the education, adult education. So according to Malcolm Knowles, the andragogy is the art and science of adult learning. There's andragogy refers to any form of adult learning. He defined that. So the term andragogy can be supposedly equivalent to the term pedagogy. Andragogy in Greek means man reading in comparison to pedagogy, which in Greek means children learning. However, it should be noticed that the term pedagogy is used since the ancient Greeks. So the andragogy is very famous that defines adult education from Malcolm Shepard Knowles. So basically, andragogy is, as we reviewed the pictures, in action. So also the definition by table, what is the adult learning theory? So adults bring knowledge, skill, attitude, also experience. They like to solve problems because we have already knows it everything. So they like to solve the problems. But the pedagogies, it means children learnings. Children, they don't know how to resolve the problems, how to approach the problem. But the adults already, they knows it, the experience and method. So they like to solve problems. Also, they like to apply what they learn to real situation. It means immediately they want to using immediately to concept or interest or needs. Also, they like to have choices. So we are lots of the decision making in the situation. Every day we choose it. Not right now I go there or not, or 10 minutes later, or right now go there. I got to go there. But something like that. We have many cases meet the situation. It is choices. So also adults like to share in the setting learning objectives because already they know it. That's why they learning objectives, set the learning objectives. Also adults have a variety of learning styles and also their preferences. So the adults vary of learning styles and preferences because already they know it. Also, adults do best in an environment where they feel safe, accepted, and respected because it's adult. So they think about the experiment, the environment, and then I get or feel safe, or accept or not, or respect or not is very important environmental point. Also, they want to need feedback because it's already they have a lot of experience, and then if they accept some interesting or needs, and then they want to feedback. Also, they need to have their abilities and achievements honored. So very quickly using or immediately using things, that's why they have a very powerful ability and achievement. This is adult learning theory definition. Also, Malcolm Shepard Knowles is father of the adult learning. So I would like to review with you the 5 assumptions of adult learners, because it's Knowles also organized the concept and adult learning around the 5 principles, assumption, or pillars that distinguished andragogy from pedagogies. So these have remained the major principles of adult learning theory ever since. So first, let's see that the pictures self-concepts and experience and the readiness to learn, also orientation to learn. And last assumption is motivation to learn. But how can he choose that the 5 assumptions or 5 theories, principles, and pillars? First, self-concept, it means self-directed, because I can choose it, because he knows it, or he knows it, objectives and goals. That's why he's self-concept, also self-directed. And second assumption is experience existing knowledge, because he knows it. The adults already knows it, and also have existing knowledge. Also, the assumption and the principles is readiness to learn, are eager to try, developing laws, and I can choose it. Immediately, I can use or take part, enjoy them. Also, orientation to learning, it means solve current problems. I want to know the method or ways to problem solve. So also, and the last assumption and principles is to motivation to learn. It means intrinsic. So because they already have many experience and knowledge, and then how to motivate to running their interest. This is 5 assumptions. So they are first learners self-concepts or self-concepts or self-directed. So adults learners evolves from the dependence to self-driven independence, taking the initiative in their learning journey. They can say this a long time journey. Also, the learner's experience. Experience means is existing knowledge. Adult learners have accumulated a repository of life experience, also enriching their learning with practical insight. They have already knows the practical insight. Also, the readiness to learn, developing the law means as adult learners assume a new role. Their readiness to learn becomes aligned with their involving responsibilities. And the other principles, orientation to learning. Strategies used by the adult learner change from subject-centered to problem-centered. So subject-centered to problem-centered, because they accumulated lots of the practice inside, accumulated knowledge. So the adults, learners change from the subject-centered from subject-centered to problem-centered. As I said, they want to immediately can use theory or learning or skills. So it means is they are ready to learn. And the last theory is motivation. I very motivate to learn. So adult learners better when they are motivated by internal factors, something like a desire for higher personal growth. So I already retire and graduate something, and then how do I approve or growth more higher levels or job advancement after that, and self-esteem rather than external ones like paydays. So they want to, sometimes they want to get the money there. This is another social problems for social welfare after retire that all of the world countries have same problems for adults learning is related for social welfare. So briefly, another chapter is for your concept. Adult learning theories, readiness to learn. I'm ready. Immediately I can apply. Orientation to learn, motivation to learn, reason to learn, self-concept, experience. These things is for adult learning theories. Also, 4 kinds of principles notes suggest of andragogy. Adult learners experience first involved adult learners, and adult learners experience also relevance and impact to learners' lives, and problem centered. So I said is subject centered, from subject centered to problem centered. It means adult learning is problem centered rather than content oriented. So it means is right now I have some problem and I want to resolve right now. So I want to introduce around 12 to 13 adult learning theories from the chapter. So briefly, I introduced the title transformational learning, experimental learning, self-directed learning, project-based learning, action learning, behaviorism, constructivism, and cognitivism. Also, Gaines' theory of instructions, discovery learning, social learning, humanism, ARCS model of motivation, connectivism. These things is adult learning theories, and then I would like to one by one to adult learning theories. First, transformational learning. Okay. Transformational learning is beliefs and expectation shape a person's worldview. Also, through a rational analytical process, a person can consciously change their old beliefs and implement new ideas. It means I already accumulate lots of their learning and knowledge, and then how to consciously change their old beliefs. This is traditional transformational learning. So it is complex analytic processes, also evaluation and analysis, long-term personal growth. So each adult learning theory has a pros and cons. As you know, we don't have any perfect theory, because we change the situation and other circumstances affected the theory, and then the theory is changed. That changing meaning is upgrade or updated the theory. So every theory has pros and cons. So I would like to introduce the adult learning theory one by one for explain the summaries and definition, and then each theory has a pros and cons. I guide for you. So the transformational learning has also pros and cons. So as you saw, see in the tables, the transformational learning has some pros. First, provide deep insight and profound transformation. It means it's already the adults accumulated lots of experience. So they already have a deep insight. It is long or not, it doesn't matter for long or right. Anyway, the adult already has deep insight. So the adults provides the deep insight and profound transformation. Also helps adult learners grow personally and achieve career advance. As I said, the teacher and the adults is communicate each other, same level. So very helpful adult learners. Also promote reflection, critical thinking, and self-assessment, because it's already they using the transformational learning. But the other hand, transformational learning has cons. It's the part. So maybe difficult to implement in an online learning environment. A little bit difficult to implement, because it's a transformational learning is very or different experience. Also, another cons is can be met with resistance by learners who resent change due to fear of vulnerability or comfort with the existing beliefs, for example. It means is they consist different adults there in classroom, and then they have different method to achieve their experience and circumstance and knowledge. That's why it is very different existing beliefs. So very dangerous for adaptive. Also, the transformational learning has some cons about might be time consuming and requires experts outside support and facilitation. It means is already they knows it everything. That's why how to give to be time consuming. This is pros and cons of transformational learning of adult learning theory. And second adult learning theory is approach in which individuals learn by doing. It means is we approach the individual. Also, it puts the learners at the center of the learning process. Learning occurs through an active process of doing and reflection. It means is how to approach for individual learning by doing. This is experiential experience. Also, this theory. Oh, you have some question? Yeah. Okay. So okay, wait. This is first time class, eh? Yeah, my class. So okay. This. Okay, you can come in here one or two times for your signature in the office. Yeah. So don't be afraid for it means is feel free. Okay. So you don't need to sit in here or some sign and then after that go there is okay. Don't worry about that. So don't worry about only I know is you are concerned about your status. Okay? So don't worry about that. So we are ready for recording system. If you concerned about it and try to see, but I don't think so. Even if they are professor, because it's my best major is business and economics. So this is general education. So this class, the adults education. As you know, you are the F1 students, so you are coming from abroad. So Taiwan, Chinese, but Korean. So as you know, this adult education, adult English class or something in community. Did you know that? So it is very not bad actually. It is only will helpful your English skill. So when I was 1999, I came from Korea here for visiting scholar for some K-State University. So I need for some experience for in education, American education system. So now you, I don't know your English level. I'm also very poor. So because I'm born in here, so in this case, you are attending your community or community library. It's very powerful for your improved English skill. So this class is adult education is in the especially United States. United States have some very powerful adult education system by community. So if you want to conversation with a native speaker English, or you want to library or such, in this case, you visit the community center, and then there are lots of programs. So this class, how do we develop this kind of adult learning system? So if you have some time, you will come or visit there, and then what kind of class in the community? Each community have different class. Sometimes for your artificial or more conversation or more physical exercising or some daycare center or some pet grooming or something. So lots of certificate program more powerful your enrich your mind for your retirement. Also, you can live in here for immigration from country, and then everybody knows it. Everybody wants to live in here. So lots of the experience and chance to learn to community centers. So if you want any kind of help for free, in this case, visit there, and then some adults give some chance to your conversation every day for 1 hour, 2 hours, and some recommended from your job training system for free. So even if you are Apple students, visit there. So this class is general education. For some students is master level, some students is bachelor level. So the general education means is basic of basic for your life. Even if it's an immigrant or in this any situation. So in the college level, give to the general education about 30 to 35% of graduation requirement. For example, this school bachelor degree need 108 units for 4 to 5 years. So about 30 to 35% among 180, about 60 to something units consist of the general education. For example, introduction to psychology, introduction to philosophy. Is another. So also adult education is also belongs to the general education. It means is sometimes your son or your children ask to you. We already last week, last quarter, I taught the college algebra. You know the college algebra. Algebra is very easy. From the elementary school to junior high, high school, and college level. But it's the why we repeated the college algebra in the college levels. Because the general education is presented to basic concept and approaches to your life, or adjust your major and how to apply for your life in the social. So we are repeated again, or college algebra, or psychology, sociology, something like that. So general education need for reason. So it is sometimes it's very boring, and some you don't need to triangle functions. Triangle function is very difficult, but college levels need to that. What the reason? Reason is how to approach, how to analyze, how to get the my goal. So this is methodology. So some people graduate only high school. Some people graduate the college level. Some people graduate the upper grade and doctorate level. What is the difference? The basic difference is the how to approach them. A little bit different, because it's who is graduate only high school, they don't know to approach them, how to approach them, how to reach to them. So that's why if your children ask to you, I'm very boring to college level, calculus and algebra, trigonometry is very difficult. Why I need to physics? Physics is very difficult, or chemistry. But they are, as you know, this you have their children. You have children? No. Do you have children? No. You don't have it. No. So some children wants to be a medical doctor. Medical doctor. Your children wants to. Oh, I want to medical doctor. And then now, if you have some medical doctor friends, can you ask me? Ask them. You know that the chemistry or physics, they are letting go. They are letting go at that. Because, but why they learn or study the physics or chemistry? The reason is how to approach the knowledge, or how to approach the skills or something. So even if they forgot the physics or chemistry or some biology, but already they knows it, accumulated the experience, and then they become a medical doctor. So today class, this current class, adult education is also same meaning. So this is not an important subject, but basically you know it is through the general education concepts, okay? So if you want to adult education, what's the meaning, why we study this one? Visit the library or community center, and then it is more helpful for your immigrant life. So you meet the adults, some old guys there waiting for your visit, and then you ask it, I am very short English. Can you help me? Oh, they are welcome, and I help. Oh, I am, but these young ladies, what is your major? Oh, I don't decide yet. And then they have already knows it for transformational or more experienced learning system. They already knows it, and then they are highly recommended to your major and methodology. That's why. So today, this class for second week among 10 weeks program. So easy to come in. And if you have something problem, sign after that, it's gone, it's okay, no problem. So feel free for take a class with me. Okay. So if you have also, if you have any questions regarding for teaching or more subject or more keeping status, to ask them and let me know it. Okay. So very feel free for sit or not, doesn't matter. Eh? Okay. Okay. Okay, I continue to come back in here, adult learning theories. There are lots of theories for adult learning. First, transformational learning, and second, experimental learning. Experimental learning also has a pros and cons. What is the merit? Is boost learner engagement, provide hands-on experience that will readily applicable in the real world, because they are already experienced. The encourages reflection. So you have the dictionary in your hands. Can you check it? The reflection is very difficult to apply. Reflection. What's the meaning? Reflection. Very difficult word for definition. Can you check it for your country word? Reflection. Get it? The concept or meaning? Reflection. So you can see that the reflection subject in the United States. Reflection of education, reflection of assumption, reflection dentist. Lots of meaning in there. Reflection means that I give some impact to you, and then you guys accept that, and then how to reply. This is reflection. I said to something to my children, and children is respect or response to me. Also, it's a reflection. So reflection is very wide definition. So experimental learning is encourages reflection, means the adult already have lots of the experience, and then they can encourage reflection. Also, the experimental learning has some cons, fault. What's a mistake? It can be resources intensive and costly, but it'll be cost because it's experiencing. It takes time. Also not applicable to all topics and all new concepts, because experience is very narrow. Each person, each adult has their own path. That's why the whole topic and the concept is very narrow. Also produces varying learning outcomes due to lack of attention to the experiences and the background of each individual learner. As I said, each members has different experience. So they are different background than individual learners. So that's why it's experience learning has some cons. So it's different ways. And next, self-directed learners. Oops. Oh. Okay. The self-directed learning, SDL. This summary means it's a process in which individuals take complete ownership of the educational process to diagnose learning needs, also identify resources, and implement learning, and perform self-assessment of their region. So it means it's they focus self-direct, because they already knows it. Also, they immediately want to needs and interest. So the self-directed learning process updated and self-motivated learners, technology and software skills, these things is self-directed learning. For example, I want to know their handphone, cellular phone, and YouTube. Very simple. I want to immediately use for knowledge. These things is very educated for self-directed learning. I want to know the email system and ChatGPT. Nowadays, a very powerful tool is ChatGPT. But its problem is that we don't know I don't know the ChatGPT. But I have concern about that, so I have to study. The ChatGPT. So in this case, some adults is very difficult for them. Also, they don't have when they were young, they don't have any phone. Also, include me, I don't have any cellular phone when I was in college. After that, I got a doctor degree, and then in the meantime, I get some cellular phone. So I have to learn lots of the knowledge and the skills for cellular phone skills, and also very quickly change the technology. How do we follow? This is very educated, self-directed learning system. It has some pros about gives maximum control to learn. Because if I buy some cell phone and then I want to know the maximum using the skills or technology. Also, flexible and self-paced. It means I don't need everything knowledge or skills. Only I need things. That's enough for my using cell phone. And also, self-directed learning allows for hyper-personalized learning paths, because I want to know a little bit higher level cell phone skills, but some people don't need that. So very hyper-personalized learning result paths. This is very educated for self-directed learning system. But the other hand, is self-directed learning system has cons. Lack of outside control and guidance can produce poor learning outcomes. It means is two things. One thing is my result, my default, or my short knowledge, or the learners or teachers can give very poor or wicked knowledge. The students need to be self-motivated to succeed. It means, okay, I have very eager mind to learn to myself. So the first subject is very eager mind, self-motivated, but it's difficult. Also, SDR is may result in knowledge gaps because some people graduate high school level, some adults the doctorate level is exactly different for knowledge gaps. So even if there are knowledge gaps, some people very quickly accept that. But normally says it may result in knowledge gaps. It's different. It's a self-directed learning course. And the other adult learning theory is project-based learning. Project-based learning. The learners engage fully in an active investigation of real-world problems. So first time I said is why adults learning. The first reason is they want to immediately using them. Also, students actively participate through inquiry, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication. So it is project-based learning. So they are best suited for project management, process improvement, manufacturing. These things is project-based learning. So project-based learning has some pros. It's a develop collaboration and communication skill. It means the adults choose the project. Project means okay, I want to know some special skills. And then they join the skills, communication and collaboration, and can develop them. Also easily applicable to real world tasks. It means project-based. So the project-based have very narrow and very designated goals. So it is very powerful, applicable to real-world tasks. Also fosters creativity. This is for pros of project-based learning system. But the other hand, also has a cons. It can be time-consuming because they need to collaboration or communication skill to develop. It can be time-consuming. It takes time for getting. Also requires attentiveness to both planning and goal setting. It means it's very difficult to choose the project. So what is the goal? I don't know that. I'm not sure. Very clear. So it takes time for planning and goal setting. This is project-based learning because I have no knowledge or information. Also, it's difficult to assess each member's contribution to the overall result. So even if the adults choose the planning and the goal setting, but it's very difficult to assess because each member is different contributions. It means that each member has some different ability. That's why. And next, action learning. The adult learning theory is action learning. Learning is the result of the programming and question. Also, learners act on problem and reflect on the result. it best fitted for collaboration, filling existing knowledge gaps, assessing learning needs. It's action learning. Action learning is, in the meaning is that. So the act directly for learning system. So the act learning is the result and the programming and the question, and then directly get some learnings. It is action learning. Action learning is also pros and cons. The process is the improved skill for solving problems. So if I choose the action learning system, and then I can improve the skills for the problem solving, solving the problems. Also provide the hands-on experience. It means some instructors give to the hands-on experience. It is because it is action learning. Also, teachers encourage reflection and collaboration. So reflection means repeat the response. Very powerful or encourage reflection and collaboration is through the action learning. But on the other hand, the cons is maybe overwhelming without skill facilitation. So the instructors need for very skilled facilitations. So sometimes maybe overwhelming. And also theoretical knowledge is insufficient because already others have some method theoretical knowledge. So action learning is very powerful or plentiful knowledge. So the cons, the part is some knowledge is insufficient. Also requires a higher degree of commitment from all learners involved. It means is that instructors or teachers get the high degree of commitment from all learners, because they are very different background for students, learners. So that's why it requires very high degree of commitment, very high action experience. This is action learning. And the other adult learning theory is behavioral learning. Sometimes we say the behaviorism. Behaviorism is learning occurs through conditioning and reinforcement. Behavior changes in response to stimuli through reward and punishment. So it is educated for basic skill training, also compliance training or safety protocols. It is very powerful theories for adult learning behaviorism. Even if they are very powerful learning system, but also behaviorism has also pros and cons. What is the pros? Is measurable outcomes. Behavioral learning has exactly calculated the outcomes, measured. So very defined or magnificent outcomes. Also, you can apply the behavioral techniques across various adult learning contexts, from workforce training to community education programs. So most community service using this method because it's very quickly learn to skill. So most communities get the money fund from the government or community, and then they have to show the outcomes. We are correct about 50 adults, and then we give some information to them, and then very powerful English skill, or some students, some adults get some license or something outcomes. They want to show to outcomes. Also, they need it because they want to get the money from the government next plan. So the behavioral learning system is very powerful community service. The first reason is measurable outcomes. So also the behavioral learning system conditioning can be highly effective in training specific skills or behaviors quickly. So there are some adults need for very simple, but they want to learn something. In this case, very highly effective training skills, behavioral learning. Also, behaviors can be systematically reinforced, leading to consistent learning outcomes. This behavioral learning is focused to outcomes. So how to get the improve of adults and feedback for outcomes. It's a repeat again. This is for behavioral learning. So behavioral learning system also has some cons. BLT, behavioral learning system theory. BLT trends to overemphasize external factors like reinforcement and punishment, often neglecting internal cognitive process and emotion. It means is the community service or the teachers, instructors wants to make the outcomes. But that's why they need some punishment. If you absent something, and then I can give you also your training chance. So if you absence 2 times, and then you can participate in here at no more, something like that. So a little bit need for punishment. Also, the behavioral learning theory doesn't account for the personal and social context of adult learners, which are essential for effective learning. So even if we give to them some punishment, and then they can accept the effective learning system. This is cons. Also, there are risks of creating dependence on external reward, which may not lead to long-term behavior change when the reinforcement is removed. So the instructors or teachers push them with punishment, a little bit push them. But adults already, they knows it, the education system. So it's very difficult to accept the instructor's pushment. So the reinforcement is remove that, and then the behavior learning theory is failed. This is another cons. So the social constructivism. Okay, this is the last one, and then, oh my God, what time? Okay. So constructivism. The learners construct a new concept using their past experience, the former experience, using that the constructivism. Also, learning looks similarly to building with Lego bricks, whereas the bricks are the learners exceeding piece of knowledge. The bricks, it is they are The adult is very old guys need for very slow and how can I say, they some they very poor insist. So that's why their social constructivism theories need for some Lego system. Lego, you know the Lego. Very simple method for learning. Even if the social construction theory has some pros, active and engaging. It means is we can make some something like that, something top or some shape or art, and then they engage them. Also, they are conversation interactive and then build some block system. Also promotes personalized learning style, thanks to recognize the learner's unique life experience. It means is I have very experience in the Lego system, Legoland. I worked for a long time in the Lego company, Legoland. And then the adults get some evidence for the student. So it's easy to promote that, the learning style thing. Also encourage critical thinking. So the instructors give some direction to make the Lego system, and then the adults very critical think. And then if they get some answers, and the adults very encouraged. But the other hand, the cons is requires a high level of self-direction in learners. So instructors need for high level. Also doesn't necessarily provide clear structures. Also may improve a lot of preparation and facilitation. It means it's a social construction theory. Instructors need more preparation times. So it's very ready for lots of contents. It is social construction theory. Okay. I said this adult learning theory is about 12 to 30 or something. So I would like to give you one by one, and each theory has pros and cons. So it means is there are lots of adult learning theories, and then you can accept and then make methodology to approach them. So next week, we will start the pros and cons of the cognitivism, okay? So that's all to this class today. Okay, any question or feel free to contact me through the office, and then next call. Okay? See you next time. Okay, thank you.